As movie fans know, the holiday season is one of the best times of the year at the multiplex, and moviegoers will get an early gift this year when Star Wars: The Last Jedi, arguably the most anticipated film of the year, arrives in theaters. Here to share the early buzz on this season's holiday movies is film expert and TV host Alicia Malone of Fandango. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Elsa, for having me.
So let's start with the film for families this holiday season. There's a new version of Jumanji, I heard, right? Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle?
Yeah, that's right. And this is a new version for a new generation. And it doesn't try to copy the original, which I think is great. It's definitely its own thing. It stars possibly the most likable cast assembled ever. You've got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you've got Kevin Hart, you've got Jack Black and Nick Jonas. And this time it's all about a group of high school students who discover a video game console. They get sucked into the game and they become these avatars. So it's very fresh and funny. I think will surprise people, and families will really enjoy it.
I think I'm laughing already just thinking about those actors in that movie.
Yeah,
that is going to be
exactly.
a blast. That's funny. And I know families will also be flocking to see Star Wars. I'll definitely be there. What about The Last Jedi? Talk about this one.
Yeah, well, we don't know too much about the plot just yet. It's being kept under lock and key, secret, safe for the fans. But Star Wars: The Last Jedi will see Daisy Ridley back as Rey. She is now coming into her own powers. She's learning under the guidance of Luke Skywalker. We know that it's going to be the last time we'll see Carrie Fisher play Princess Leia. We know that the tone is going to be darker, that there'll be these cute little creatures called porgs, and that it's going to be the longest Star Wars film ever made at 150 minutes, which I know Star Wars fans won't mind at all. And also, if you buy your tickets on Fandango for Star Wars: The Last Jedi, you can receive a poster, which I think will be a really great gift for the holidays.
Absolutely. You got to take those bathroom breaks before you go into that movie, right?
Yes.
That is a long one.
Yeah, don't drink too much beforehand.
Yeah, but it's going to be so exciting. And you have just the whole atmosphere of going to see it with so many different fans that are excited about that series. Now, for musical fans, there are two films to watch, right? There's The Greatest Showman and Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, so The Greatest Showman is all about the birth of show business and the life of P.T. Barnum, and it stars Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, and Michelle Williams. And that one is full of colour, spectacle, dance and song. And then you have Pitch Perfect 3, where the Bellas are back together again for one last singing competition. They go on a USO tour this time. I love seeing these girls together. And if you get your tickets on Fandango for Pitch Perfect 3, then coming soon you'll also receive these pins. I don't know if you can see it, but it says "Aka Awesome."
I love that. I mean, so many bonuses when you get your tickets with Fandango. The poster for Star Wars and then those pins. That's super cool. And it's also award season. So what are the possible Oscar favorites that we can see over the holiday break?
Well, definitely look out for The Post. It's directed by Steven Spielberg. It stars Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. Right there, that says Oscar. But it's a really interesting take on the Pentagon Papers and the publishing of those papers in the 1970s. The reason why it's interesting is that it speaks so much to what we're talking about right now, as in the freedom of the press and gender equality in the workplace. Brilliant performance by Meryl Streep once again. It's an inspiring movie about a woman finding her voice. And then I also want to encourage people to get out and see Lady Bird, which is now the best reviewed film on Rotten Tomatoes ever. It's a charming coming-of-age story about a high school student in her last year of school before she goes to college. Also a mother-daughter relationship story starring Saoirse Ronan and directed by Greta Gerwig. And I really hope that Greta Gerwig gets a Best Director Oscar nomination, because she'll be one of only a few women to pick up that Best Director nomination. I think that's so important. As you know, I love talking about women in film, and I have a book called Backwards and in Heels, which talks about that very thing.
Wonderful. Alicia Malone, thank you so much for your insightful take. We can't wait for the movies this holiday season. And we will be right back with more Midday Maryland.